to create the best version of yourself, you need to know your talents, and you need to know really your weaknesses. And you need to to discover the opportunities that exist within yourself and outside of yourself, all right? So very often, the part of you that you are operating with right now is not enough to succeed in the future. So we need to expand the you, right? So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to use the Johari's window, which is known all over the place. And I'm going to give you some hints and tips on how to use it and how powerful it is and what to do with that. So this is me and you. There's going to be two parts of it. The part that you know about yourself and the part that is unknown to you. Or you have known and unknown. Then what you have, we're going to have a quadrant. You have others. This is what they know about you, and this is what they don't know about you. All right? So what we have is we have 4 different areas. This area is known to you, and they know it. They know how good you are. They know that you can manage a number of things. You can deliver things. They know your talent. That's your role. So this is really what we call the public area. All right? So, of course, this is where your job gets done and where you have impact. You have a strong interest in making this as big as possible, right? Okay. Now, let's talk about this one. This one is a risky area because they know this about you and you don't. On the negative side, you are making mistakes and nobody knows. You don't know it. Everybody knows it and you don't know it. People are talking about you in the hallway. They're criticizing you. Sometimes they're silent in your meetings. And in their mind, they're just surviving you and you don't know anything about that. That's really a blind spot. Worse, you are talented, you have great impact, there are things you say that you do, there are ways, your own personality has some real great benefits, and you're not aware of it. Nobody tells you. So you're not aware of those talents of yours, so that's a negative blind because you can't use it. All right? So your goal is going to be to shrink the blind area. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. Now, let's come here. This is an area where you know this about yourself and they don't. That's a private spot. And it's normal. You don't tell them everything about you, of course. But what if you all of a sudden open up and say, hey, on the side, I love creating websites. Or I love reading science books, whatever other talents you have. And you reveal them to those people. They might team up with you and say, hey, I do too. I kind of like you now. We have something in common, so maybe we can collaborate better, all right? And if you like barbecuing or in the weekend you like surfing or anything, or doing artwork, and people find that about you, then they feel closer to you and collaboration becomes easier. All right. So your goal is to really find a way to expand this public area. Now, what about this one? That's what I call shadow, actually. It's red, it's black, it's really the shadow. Meaning, you don't know, they don't know. And in here, you have tons and tons of opportunities. and the things you can develop, you learn. You have natural hidden talents. You're not aware of it. They're not aware of it. It's a waste. That's a bummer, isn't it? When you like to discover yourself and become the real you, the you that you are already, right? So how do we get into the shadow side here? Let's start with this. Now, to find out your weaknesses and your strengths, learn the art of feedback. Ask for feedback, positive and negative, and it reveals things that you need to correct, things that you need to change, but also things that you need to take advantage of and repeat. So creating a culture of feedback within your company and your business, believe me, right? Because the area of opportunities and creativity expands largely and it goes way out there. Now, you don't want to be losing your job because you don't even know that you have a problem. That happens to a client of mine just recently. Top of the guy, he just got promoted 2 months ago, and all of a sudden he made a mistake, nobody told him, and he's losing his job. You don't want to do that. Feedback is important. Now, to expand this area here, you're going to need to reveal yourself. How do you reveal yourself? Well, you spend time together. You say, I do this. What about you? You create trust, right? As you build trust, people just find out, oh, finally, you're not that type of a person, but you are that type of a person, right? So you expand the collaboration area, which is this area, and you have private conversation, you have team building, people get to know each other. Basically, what you're doing if you are a leader or manager, you do team building, what happens? People get to know each other. This whole collaboration area expands, okay? That's good. Now, what about the shadow area? And that's a huge opportunity. Why? Because believe it or not, this is 1,000 times bigger. The diagram is not correct. This is 1,000 times bigger than you may think of. You are much bigger, much more capable, much more able and intelligent than you can imagine. So look for ways to do this and find it in some of my other videos.